everyone, I'm Gloria S. Crump with the Coastal Leaders Realty Group, the Queen of Real Estate. Thank you for joining this kickoff to 2026 Teas and Crumpets. And we have Rhett Jones of Selma, Alabama, and Rudder Jones of Selma, Alabama, of Cougar Oil. Thank you for joining.
Oh yeah, no, Rudder's very happy to be here.
Oh, I can tell you.
So am I. I told him if he was good, he could get some treats.
Trees and get to sit on the couch and,
Yeah.
be a part of the first 2 years of Tea and Crumpets. And so you've obviously been on the show before.
I have.
But today we are going to be talking about the legislative session that kicked off on the 13th. You were there.
Yep.
And as a past chairman of the P&CMA.
Yeah, the Petroleum and Convenience Marketers of Alabama. So we're the convenience store and just the overall petroleum industry trade association in Alabama.
Yeah.
So
and y'all have had y'all have a great say-so in certain things that actually have an effect on people throughout the state, and which we're going to get into that with the lottery and such.
We try to just watch after our industry
for sure. So so what do you see that's on the agenda for the Rudder doesn't want to be part of our group anymore.
No, I'll let him go. He'll be fine. He may come back in after a while.
I gotcha. Okay, well, tell us a little bit about what you see on the agenda.
Well, today being Wednesday the 14th, yesterday, Tuesday the 13th, Rudder, come here. Tuesday the 13th was the first day of the session in Montgomery, and I was lucky enough to be able to go. My board's when I was the chairman of this group for a couple of years, I became interested in, all the legislative process in Montgomery. And so I'm lucky enough that my board has allowed me to kind of stay involved with doing some of that. So for us personally, one of our things we're looking at what they call is RTDs, which is like the ready to drink beverages. Like a lot of people know, like High Noons.
And those are what's considered a ready to drink.
Yeah, they're made with straight alcohol, and then you have the stuff that's allowed now, like your White Claws, a lot of people know of, which is a malt-based, kind of like a beer or something.
Like seltzers.
Right, yeah, and so they're allowed to be sold in, the gas station, convenience stores, and the grocery stores. But we're hoping that the RTD, because they're both alcoholic beverage, and we already are controlled under the same, rules and regulations. So hopefully they'll make it where you can buy like those White Claws, or buy the High Noons the same as you can the White Claw in the grocery stores, in the convenience stores.
I'm kind of surprised they don't already, considering White Claws are still higher alcohol content than beer.
They're also higher alcohol content than High Noons. So,
it is kind of interesting.
And you
can
buy
have that regulation on the RTD.
It is weird, and then you could go to watch a football game in Tuscaloosa or Auburn on a Saturday in the fall and buy a High Noon at that stadium, but not at the grocery store. So
or a gas station.
Or a gas station, convenience store. So hopefully we get that fixed. But
yes, so that's what y'all are working on. This legislation.
It is.
So last year y'all were really busy on the lottery.
Yeah. We we're obviously a pro lottery group, but it was a big topic last year.
So you did not foresee that being on the agenda this year?
No. The people who know more about this stuff than I do are just kind of telling me that being the last year, they're doing elections this year, and so a lot of these people, like it's the last year for our governor, before she terms out, and so a lot of these, people would wait and see, after the election to where everyone else, has got that behind. We've got a new governor. We've got, all the new seats in place, before maybe they address that. But, hopefully that'll come up, maybe next year, and the people will have a right to vote.
Yeah, because it is such a big topic here, just because, we're just a few minutes from Florida. So anytime there is a massive win with Powerball, the lottery, people are just flooding over there and spending all their money, and we're just one of 5 states that do not have
in
the
country. And it's tough when it's all around you, whether it's Georgia or Florida, but especially being right here, like in Baldwin County, and I have a lot of customers, both sides of that line. But when you get the $100 billion jackpots, which we've seen recently,
$1 billion.
Just billion. Crazy that the 1.6 billion is what it was, and.
I did not win. I'm still here at work.
But when you get these $1 billion jackpots, not only do they go over there to buy lottery, they go buy gasoline, they buy their groceries.
Can they buy high noon?
They can buy high noon wherever they want there, and so they go buy all these other things, and so it's there's so much more to it. It affects especially the small businesses. Large corporate businesses can maybe survive, but it hurts the small mom and pop type business, family owned, when people leave and go buy their stuff out of state. Yes.
I mean, that's just, and obviously, education's being affected here in the state because people are spending their money elsewhere. Right. And one thing is too, it's so, some people might not know this, but the lottery, I think people think of just Powerball and Mega Millions. Right. It's not just that when they're talking lottery. There's also during legislation that they're discussing the sports betting.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, I'm just going to go to a gas station. I mean, it's kind of grouped into one. Right.
Yeah, the way they've kind of do the gaming, right, the way they've kind of done it. I mean, it could be addressed separately, but just kind of the way that the legislators have approached it and everybody, they said they're not going to separate them, that we're going to have a comprehensive gaming bill that will include the lottery. And so, I mean, when you hear, as it is election season, so you'll have people that, want to make kind of what they want to say they're anti-gaming. Well, if you're anti-gaming, you're also anti-lottery, which can mean you're anti-small business in a county like Baldwin.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, sometimes someone can even say anti-education funding.
Well, no, we were, in the convenience store industry, we were really looking forward to becoming, the largest education funder in the state. Because the lottery tickets would be sold, predominantly in convenience stores. And so we were really, whenever that day comes, we look forward to, the contribution to the state education that we can make, through the lottery.
And I mean, it only fell one vote shy. And one thing is, too, I think some people get confused. It's not that it's an automatic, yes, once this passes, it can be voted on. It is mainly going on the ballot for the public.
To vote, yeah. And I think last year it was like a straw poll. It wasn't official. But it was one vote short last year.
And that it did pass the House, just
the Senate side, right. And so, you absolutely, hope that it will, but each year is so different, and just everything we hear, that's not going to be this year with the elections and everything. You hear all these other people that do this for a living talk about it, but they say they want to get in and get their work done and get back home so they could all start, working towards the elections,
and campaigning for that sense. Yeah. So, I mean, the last time that it was on the ballot for the citizens to vote was 1999, and I saw that it was rejected just by an 8% margin. So,
it's changed since then.
It has, wow. And so I am very interested. Obviously, we won't be really seeing it this go around,
but maybe next year the people will have a voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, everybody has their personal beliefs and reasons. I think it's a good thing just because people are going to go.
Right.
I have people all the time that Venmo me money. Please go buy me tickets. Things of that nature.
The big $1 billion jackpots.
Exactly. So I'm like, I just want a percentage.
That's
if
right.
I go buy it,
That's
that kind of thing. So, but also another thing that's on the agenda for the legislative session is the mud dumping bill in Mobile.
That's a good local. That's a good local one. That's an interesting one that a lot of people
have a family.
Yeah, my cousin's husband's Rhett Marques, and he's sponsoring that bill on the House side, and then Chris Elliott is over on the Senate side. That's your senator here here locally in Baldwin County, and Rhett obviously is from Spanish Fort. He's over in Enterprise now, but he's also running from the Congressional District 1. seat that Barry Moore's giving up while he's trying to run for Toterville seat.
Okay.
So, you know, but Rhett's from Spanish Fort, and so he grew up down here and loves Baldwin County. And so
right
I think
on Mobile Bay.
Right, so he loves Mobile Bay. So I'm happy that those guys are doing that because, you know, they're trying to not stop the dredging, but say that 70% of that mud that comes from the dredging can be used for something constructive.
Yes.
You know, like shoreline restoration or, you know, something, you know, industrial use or whatever. But, you know, something positive and reuse that, repurpose it.
Yeah, because right now it's messing up the ecological
Oh,
aspect.
yeah.
I mean, it's causing a massive issue. So obviously, it's why it's on the legislative agenda. So.
Yeah, people like their oysters, and you know, you hear it's not good for the ecosystem, like you said.
Exactly.
And so, people who love the coast, you know, that's a great bill for them.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And I love the fact that you have your
Little connection there, a little
Yeah,
connection,
yeah.
and
I
you know,
that's
I
awesome.
always like to kind of try to help my friends out, and so we hope that, you know, Rhett has a lot of support.
Yeah, well, maybe he'll come on.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. And so, well, I'm looking forward to seeing how y'all do with the RTDs.
So am I. So am I.
And maybe next year you'll still be involved.
Yeah, I hope so.
And then you can work on the lottery side. I think that in a way, if they could divide it up, I think the lottery probably would have already passed. I think what it is sports betting might not be as big. I think the casinos is where there's a hang up, so to speak.
Well,
but that's my opinion.
I agree, but I mean, I feel like the state's no different than a lot of other groups, and that as we move further down the road and they need to find other sources of revenue, there's only so many rocks you keep turning over.
Yeah.
And there's not many that have the type of revenue that gaming bill could bring in. So,
For sure.
you know, hopefully they do that. So.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the Wind Creek, they've got some.
Yeah. So.
Well, good deal. This is very informative, and you know, I think that it definitely has an effect on just our market in general with the legislative session, especially with the Mobile Bay. That's definitely right here.
Oh yeah,
in our
absolutely.
backyard.
And the RTDs. Hopefully, you know, people don't have to go buy their lottery tickets and their RTDs in Florida, and they can
keep the money here.
Keep the money in Alabama and keep it local.
Definitely, I think so. I think that would be very beneficial for our state and our area. So.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you keeping us informed.
Yeah, thank you again. I think
thank you for,
this is twice I've been on here. This is 3 shows, so hopefully I'm the first. I like to be the first person to do stuff.
I know. Well, you're
so
first for
hopefully I'm the
2026.
first 3, and then Rudder might be the first dog. So
I think so. I definitely.
He didn't last long, but we tried.
Yeah. Well, he made his cameo appearance.
There we go.
Yep. So,
All right.
thank y'all for watching. I
Thank
hope you learned
you.
something.